Yo, what's up world? It's your boy Philosko here, and today I am 28 years old. That's right, I'm pretty old. Yesterday was my birthday, and I got this really cool hat, and now I feel old. And all day today I've been very busy doing my taxes and all this crazy American stuff. I'm sure other people do taxes too, but right now I'm just talking about me. I wish I were a kid so someone else can do my taxes, but unfortunately I'm a grown-ass man. So you know what? Today we're going to get to the lesson based on pronunciation. This is my third episode based on a pronunciation battle. Like two words that sound similar or two words that may sound the same when they're used individually, but they might sound different when they're used in a sentence. So we're going to have 5 pairs for today. Let's see how much you know and let's see how much you're going to learn. So let's get to it. Why waste time? The first pair we're going to get to for today is these two. These two right here. Do you know if they're pronounced the same or are they pronounced differently? Well, this one here basically means that something is a little less good than something else. And this one means it is the absolute baddest it can possibly be. But when it comes to pronunciation, you know what? They're generally the same. That's right, the same. For example, that shirt that you wore yesterday was worse than the shirt that you wore today. Or I can say, that is the worst shirt that you have. That is the worst shirt that you have. Or it was worse than the shirt you wore yesterday. Now sometimes you may put more emphasis on certain parts of the word. That's only when it's very dramatic. So for example, when it comes to the word worse, we usually pronounce the O in this very strong when it's a serious situation. For example, oh, that was the worst date I've ever had. That was definitely the worst date I've ever had. But still, when we're very excited or upset about something, we generally pronounce this one the same as we usually do. For example, that girl was definitely worse than the girl I met yesterday. She was definitely worse than the girl yesterday. So there you go. Worse, worse. Basically the same. But when we're upset or very emotional, we just use worse. That was the worst. And we usually use the word the before worse. So let's get to the next pair. The next pair we're going to learn about for today is this word and this word. Now, if you don't know what this word is, you don't need to know. But it's great for this example. Do you know how to pronounce these two words? Well, a lot of people mispronounce this word. Not too many people even know this word. But basically, it's book and boob. Book and boob. Now, I know a lot of people say book because when they see the two O's together, they automatically assume that it makes an oo sound. But here's a great tip for you. A lot of times, like 90% of the time, when a K follows two O's, it makes the uck sound. Like book, look, cuck, like that. But the majority of the time, two O's make a oo sound, like boob, food, boom, like those 3 examples. And even when we try to scare somebody, we usually say boom. And that goes over here with the oo sound. So just remember, when a word ends in O-O-K, it's usually making the uck sound and not the ook sound. There you go. Book and boob. And if you want to know what a boob is, get a girlfriend first. The next pair we're going to work on for today is right here. This word and this word. Do you know how to pronounce them? Do you know what they mean? Well, this one is basically I will. And this one is basically, this is like a pathway, usually in a store. So in stores they have different pathways. Pathway 1 has the fruits, pathway 2 has the vegetables, pathway 3 like has the cereals. That's what this word is here. But do you know how they're pronounced? Well, it's aisle and aisle. They are homophones of each other. They are pronounced exactly the same. Now, I know this aisle here is spelled very strangely, but that's how it's spelled. And this is a very important word that you need to learn before you come to America, because when you go shopping and you ask someone, where's this or where's that, they'll always say in aisle 5 or aisle 4 or aisle 3. They'll give you an aisle and a number, then you see this word with a number next to it. And you need to know that that word is aisle. So there you go. Simple one for number 3, aisle and aisle. So let's get to number 4 for today. And the 4th pair we're going to work on is this word and this word. Bat and bad. Bat and bad. Now I did this one before. It's a very difficult thing to understand for a lot of foreigners, but I will try my best to explain it. Now, when we speak American English, a lot of times at the end of the word, we do not pronounce the T and we do not pronounce the D. So a lot of people would think, oh, well, if you don't pronounce the T here, and you do not pronounce the D here, wouldn't it sound exactly the same? And I understand that very, very much, but no, they actually sound completely different. And how do we make them differently? Well, it's how we stop making the A sound. So, for example, when we say bad, how do we stop the sound in order to make it sound like the way I say it? Bad. What you do is you take your tongue, you make it flat, and you rise it to the top of your mouth slowly while making the A sound. Bad, bad, bad. It makes an extremely soft D sound. Bad. Like that. But over here, it's a little more difficult. We don't need our tongues at all when saying bat, bat. But what do? It's how we stop the sound. And how do we stop the sound on the T sound? Well, we stop the sound with our throats. We stop it there. So here we stop it with our tongues, bad, bad. But here we stop it with our throats only, bat, bat. And if you do it very well and very strongly, you will actually hear yourself breathe right after you say the word, because what you're doing is stopping the air from coming out of your throat so quickly that when you let it go, air comes out. Bat, bad, bat, bad, bat, bad. Just like that. Drop T sound is very difficult. You stop the sound with your throat, and the ending D sound a lot, we just stop the sound with our tongues. Bat, bad. That is a difficult one, but if you get it, you're awesome. So let's get to the fifth and last pair for today. Now here are these three words. 1, 2, and 3. Are all of these pronounced differently? Or maybe 2 of them sound just alike? Or maybe all 3 of them sound alike? Do you know? I wonder. What's funny about this is whenever people see these words by themselves, they're never confused. But when they see them together, they get confused. Well, let me tell you how they're pronounced. It's where, were, and where. They're all completely different. Where, were, and where. Example sentence. Where were you yesterday? We're in New York City. We were having fun. Where's your cat? We were making videos. We're getting tired. They're all very different. Where, were, and where. And there you go. That's our 5 pairs and the end of the episode for today. So that's the end of the episode for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you learned new stuff. Be sure to add me, vk.com/Veloczko. That's me. And subscribe to my YouTube page to see all of my YouTube videos. And as of now, I'm still in New York City, but of course pretty soon I'll be back in Russia again, giving lessons, talking to people, doing everything I can do to make my viewers happy. So that's basically it. And you know what the guy says at the end of the video.
And don't be racist.
So don't be that is his catchphrase.